Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebartogo.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss why people who call themselves bourbon guys are fools. Oh, tool move. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Hickley, along with our special guests, Kathy Poole, Evan Meters, and Tim Swyatt.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey,
Hello.
Hello. McNew, where was your professionalism there? I mean,
where was it yours? You're just going to crack a drink open?
Get your shit together, McNew.
Yeah.
Come on.
A good announcer has to be able to get around those things. You can't be like, oh, squirrel. No, you got to just keep going. Powering through.
Guys that are tools, and you interrupted my intro.
I thought the same thing, McNew.
I was as well.
So rude.
I'm like,
so
boy,
rude.
that was planned. He was waiting to drop that one.
Oh, yeah. I was getting ready to open that before she started talking. I was like, what? I better just hold up here. Then we will see what happens. I want to see what happens. And then, yeah, I got what I wanted. It was a nightmare. So, yeah, there you go. Just so the audience knows, we've got a situation with a homeless person outside of the ABV Barrel Shop. We're trying to track this person down.
She's fine. She got.
They got rid of the couch back by the dumpster, right?
Yeah. So then the homeless person's navigated to the front of the establishment.
Front of the store now.
They're really rid of us. We just spited you by the back, and you made it worse.
McNew showed up at the store and then, apparently pre-gamed too much and then had to sit outside and looked like a homeless person out there talking to people as they're walking. And just like it's normal, just like homeless people do. Like, hey, how you doing? I got $1. Got $1.
Hey, you can get drink for free in here. Hey, come on over.
So so there you go. That was our McNew. So yes, accused of being homeless. So we'll be talking about bourbon guys, and the funny thing is this phenomenon. I don't want to side with one gender over another, but I've never heard someone say I'm a bourbon gal or I'm a bourbon girl. This is a dude thing. The dudes are tools. We'll talk about this. Anybody who says they're a bourbon guy is usually a setup for just asshole-ish behavior. So we'll talk about that after the break. For right now, Kathy said there's something she want to talk about. What is that, Kathy?
I want you guys to tell me about an encounter you've had with a tool, non-bourbon related.
Non-bourbon related. Okay. Well, there's got to be.
I'm kept away from power tools, so Kathy, I don't have a lot of stuff to work with here. I mean, a lot of material to work with here, so I can't use a chainsaw. Oh, I'm talking about
people.
Tools.
People. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you about this guy, Jim Fosnot. This guy with his frying pan face ruining all these pictures. I'll tell you. And he knows exactly what he's doing every day long, and I love that about him.
Right. Yeah. One time I was at the airport, they got the club thing, and I'm just talking to my friends, because there's 3 of us flying on a business trip, and a lady looks over at me and says, "Shh! What What the hell is that? I'm in a public place. It's not like a sanctuary where you can't talk or something.
Were you in the airport library?
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand.
That's douchey.
That is a douchey.
What the rest of the story is if you've ever seen the movie Ted, that's a point where you cup fart and you push it away to that side towards that general direction at the moment, the quickest part that you can, and then you deal with that. So that restaurant scene is spectacular.
Okay,
but you got to do it silently, though, Steve.
Silent, okay, without crapping yourself either. So
yes,
there you go. That'd be good. Evan Neaters seems like such a nice guy. I don't think he would ever have any sort of confrontation with any sort of tool, but maybe we'll see.
So I do have one. You kind of brought it up with. I feel like a lot of people are tools at airports.
At airports? I thought you were going to say Darren at the barrel shop. When,
well, that's another conversation.
Off the list of the top 10.
That's a whole other small talk.
Yeah, we'll save that one.
Okay.
No, the people that, no matter where you're sitting on the plane, as soon as you pull up to the gate, everybody stands up and grabs their shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, wait your turn. Yeah. We're all taking a turn.
There's a lot of problem tool behaviors in airports, airplanes. I mean, people clipping their toenails and shit. What the hell's wrong with you? You're in a very confined space. Those toenails are going to fly when they get tripped. Who would say that landing on them?
You shouldn't even have your shoes off.
People take their shoes off. I don't understand that. I don't want to see people's shoes off or smell their feet. What the hell's wrong with people?
No.
We're just trying to get through this. We don't need to add to the problems of flying on a plane. Just let's all get through this together. I mean, come on. No one's.
I mean, you're flying together in a hot box with 50 to 60 other people, praying to God that the pilot's not hammered, and if there is lucky to be a co-pilot, that they're also not hammered, screwing around in the cockpit, and that you don't piss off the flight attendants, because then when you ask for that drink, we don't see them pouring it. And it comes up to you if you ask for that second drink and you don't see where it comes from. Yeah, I wouldn't trust it. There's been a couple fingers in that drink, and I don't know where they've been.
Well, yeah, I'm used to that after working with Foz, so I'm okay. My immunity's been built up.
You haven't lived till you've been fingered by Foz knots. So
my God, oh, that's the thing. So, McNew, how about you? Any people that are problems that you run into? People bothering you when you're outside the barrel shop, sitting there? I'm like minding my own business.
No. So I think at grocery stores lately, like I can be having the best day, just be in a great mood, have to run to the store for something, and I am instantly pissed off because people don't know how to fucking act anymore. Like,
well, probably pissed at you because you don't put your card away. I mean,
I always put my card away unless there's a creepy guy in the parking lot.
There's always going to be some creepy person in the parking lot of a grocery store.
There's a scale for it, okay? There's a scale. But
you're just an attraction of creepy people anyway. So there's creepy dudes following you all over the place.
That's probably true. But at grocery stores, people like if you're standing there looking for something, they just like don't give a fuck. Like they'll get in front of you. And I'm very opposite. Like I won't even go in the same aisle with somebody else. If somebody's in the aisle I want to be in, like I will loop around till they leave because I'm like, stay the fuck away from me. But no, people are invasive. They like just get up all in there. Like
grocery stores are bad too. Yeah.
They just like go through the same rack. I'm like, can you fucking hold on? Like I want to bring back the COVID rules. Stay 6 fucking feet away from me because people are so rude. I instantly pissed when I go to a grocery store now. Everyone's a tool there.
What about when the aisle goes like this, like this parallel, and then person comes out and they're going this way and they just look that way, and you're coming this way, they never even look, and then by the way, once they cut you off, then they go 10 times slower than they were as they hustled out in front of you. What is the deal with that?
And I want to see what their cars look like because I know like, if you do this in a grocery store, I know you can't fucking drive either. Like you're probably pulling out in front of everybody.
So frustrating.
Just anger, grocery store anger. And then I don't like doing the pick up and drop off because they always leave something out and it angers me more. Like there's not a win.
Ridiculous anyway. I mean, McNew, you go
in a more serious note, how about that person that you're eating at the restaurant with that is never satisfied and they have to send that meal back?
Oh yeah.
That person. I'm like, I don't have time.
You know it's coming back with spit on it.
Oh yeah, of course.
What are you doing?
I will be one and done. We are not going back out to eat with that person ever again.
Yes.
Ever.
Right. That person, and it's just so obnoxious, and you're so embarrassed, and you're like, At that point in time, you're like, I have to pick up the check because I don't want this person to get their own and stiff the staff or anything like that because it's not.
Yeah, or if they
their
do get
fault.
their
Not the
double
staff's fault.
tip, like you're like tipping extra because they're such a jackass. Like,
Yeah.
My sister used to do crap like eat it all and then complain and try and get it for free.
your sister's a tool, Kathy. Sorry.
Yeah. Or
My
she
mom
would-
one time did the ultimate. We go into a restaurant and they're sweeping up, cleaning up, and all that, and we're like, "Oh, we didn't know you're closed." And they're like, "No, come on in." So my mom orders a calzone. It's one of these wood fire pizza places, and they put it in, slide it in, and they get everybody else gets their meal and all that. And it comes out, and my mom goes, "That's got a little too much burnt on it. Would you mind doing another one for me?" I mean, we're in there after hours, and they do us a favor by letting us come in. Oh, they're spitting that. I was like, "Oh God, Bob, this is the
I'm
worst
way to ride
thing
the
I've
lightning.
Yeah. My mother. Yeah. Oh yeah. There you go.
Yeah, a little
Kathy,
bit
you asked the question. How about you, honey?
Yeah. I was talking to the husband of a patient
Okay.
because he did not want to pay the bill.
Sure. Well, neither would I. If I have to.
And in the
An option?
process of the conversation, he went from being a dentist
Okay.
to a lawyer.
Sure.
Like, well, I'm a dentist. And I was like, well, then why aren't you doing her
It's like
her
that.
work?
It's like that one guy on TV. He's a surgeon. He's a pastor, and he's an attorney.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
That guy.
And then by the end of the conversation, he was like, well, I don't have to pay this. I'm a lawyer and I know the law. And
Sure.
I was like, well, that's fine. Just talk to the collection agent when I
Right.
turn you over. Like, people, like, seriously sit in front of you and try and tell you that they're two different professions
Yeah,
to
you
try
know
and
the
get out
law,
of pain.
and
Yeah.
this is illegal, or you can't do that. I have my rights. It's like, well, I'm a private establishment, which gives me my rights to do what I want to do up to a certain point. Obviously,
Yeah.
Sure.
there's other things that you can avoid. But in that
It's
situation,
ridiculous because I'm like, you had a treatment plan. We wouldn't have touched you without it. So
Yeah.
already did it. Pay the bill.
Pay the bill.
Pay the
someone
bill.
call those people anti-dentites.
They are anti-dentites.
Anti-dentites. Yes. There you go. Seinfeld.
Right.
The show about everything. All right. It is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's talk to Kathy Cool. Kathy, what do you got there?
I'm trying to empty some bottles.
Okay.
So I've got a little bit left of this Widow Jane. It's oak and applewood aged.
Tasty.
Okay.
Nothing.
It was bassy and splashy. Yes. So not ideal. Not ideal. McNew, what do you got?
I have the Justine mash bill from the ABV Barrel Shop.
Oh,
And
nice.
surprisingly, I do remember buying this.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. There's our lead.
Done.
That might be enough to take this thing. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Evan, you're next.
All right. I got the Red Line single barrel finished in vanilla brandy cask.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a new leader. There's a new leader.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Do you have
confident
the
he is. Yeah.
Do you have the new Starlight one too?
I do.
You'll be opening that later. After you do that, don't open it just for this. Obviously, you got to save it for the cork pop. But then you got to try mixing the two together because you'll have the orange. It's the one that's finished in an orange wine barrel, and then you got one that's a vanilla brandy cask. Yeah, this is Dreamsicle, man.
I
This
will.
is
I have it
Dreamsicle
right
whiskey.
here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll check in on that one later. I've got Stolen Wolf here. This is their rye whiskey, and this is a 375 though. So. I look like Darren holding a minute there, maybe. All right, here we go. Oh, I wasted
That's
a
a
good
tight
one.
one.
That was really good. Tim, we're gonna go to a judge. I might have a chance here. What do you think?
No, Evan stuck
Evan
the
got it.
landing.
Yeah.
He had a little stumble with the squeak.
I wasted a good one there, though. That
Ooh,
was
that was a good
That
one.
was a good one.
That could
Those
win
Those
many
Eric
of our
Wolf.
cork pops, but not this one. It's not meant to be. Once you turn it over to a judge, see how professional I am. No matter as wrong as I think Tim is, no matter how big of a jackass I think he is for that decision, I have to accept what he said. So
in the club and in the syndicate club. Please comment on this one, what you think too as well from the listening audience, to again prove me right in my audio listening skills.
Audio listening skills, sure. Nah. All right, what do you got, man? Tim, your last but not least, I'm sure it's going to be explosive. I'm sure
it's going to be absolutely disappointing. It's going to be abysmal. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to also go with somebody who also has small hands, and this is from our little friend Lenny Eckstein in Deer Hammer Distillery. I've got the Legend FALS band on here to give me some extra luck.
Nice.
So we'll see how this one goes. This is the American Single Malt Port Cask Finish. Let's see how we do.
Hey, that was your best one ever.
Yeah,
that was good.
I'm getting there.
I feel like you would have won. Nothing wrong. The mic was good. The sound was good. I mean, it was just it's a largely empty bottle. I mean, you're dealing with the guy who popped a new one. So yeah, Evan wins.
Some would say it's well loved.
Tim could be a player here. We'll see. Yeah. Cheers, gang.
Cheers.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about this phenomenon where people say, I'm a bourbon guy, and then they say something that is jackassery. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. We're also sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop focuses exclusively on barrel picks. It's the job of owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot to seek out distilleries that are making the best whiskey in the world, taste through their barrels, and select the ones that are off-profile in the best way possible. They have high standards and refuse to allow anything into their store other than something they would be proud to have their name on. This leads to some really awkward conversations with distilleries that can't make it, but they do it for you, their customers. Learn more about what is going on at their St. Louis-based store by heading over to abvbarrelshop.com. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. McNew, what did you say you wanted?
A Jaguar tequila.
Why?
It's so because it's pretty. It's like I don't think it's a decanter, but it's a bottle. It is fucking 3 feet long. It's in the display case. You have to ask for them to unlock for you. It's $300. And I'm like, it's so pretty. It looks like a whole big ass cat. It's probably shitty tequila inside of it, but it's a tequila Jaguar, and I fucking want it. I want it so bad.
And you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about tools or bourbon guys.
Yes, we are. So anybody who comes into the shop for some reason, if they say they're a bourbon guy, they're being a tool. They're looking down on you. And when I say you, I include myself in there. Whoever they're talking to, they're looking down on because they think they're a big deal. They think that they're the world's greatest bourbon drinker or whatever it is. They know everything there is to know, or they collect better than you do. They're a supreme bourbon hunter. They find more Blantons than I do. Whatever they want to say. The term bourbon guy is usually a bad thing. I mean, have you guys seen this too, or is this just me?
I think it's pretty well related to the hunt for Blantons, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Well, yeah.
I was just about to say that, Kathy. Usually followed behind that person is, I don't like rye. That's why I only drink Buffalo Trace.
Right.
And they usually have a large collection of the whole entire line and they don't understand that it's only 2 recipes.
Right.
And they don't even know about Benchmark, by the way, either. I give them a plus to the point column if they knew about Benchmark, but they don't.
They don't know about it. No.
Yeah, and they're always the guys that don't know shit, and they want to like Kathy probably gets it too. Like they like to mansplain things. Like you guys won't get it, but they'll be like, "Oh, bourbon's only from Kentucky," and I'll be like, "No, it's not. Your favorite brand's made right here in Indiana, my friend." Like they're so obnoxious about the fact that they know.
They will try to mansplain men too. Now I'm not going to say. I mean, I've seen it. I mean, I know what you're saying. They're worse. These guys are worse to women, but they do think they can explain over. Usually, I'm able to nip that in the bud because I tend to know what I'm talking about, as do you ladies here. Everyone on this call knows what they're talking about. So yeah, you can't really be steamrolled once you show what you know. So and these guys really don't know a whole lot. But that knowing a whole lot doesn't seem to matter in a lot of this stuff. I see a lot of people who do tastings and stuff like that. And you talk to them, they don't know anything. It amazes me the number of people are like, yeah, I do a bunch of bourbon tastings and stuff like that. I'm a bourbon guy, so I do that. I'm like, who are these people you're pouring for? What do they know? They're just amazed. They're blown away when you tell them bourbon's 51% corn. They're like, holy shit. No way. I guess it's that crowd. I guess. I don't know. I mean, who's impressed by these people?
And I'm not making fun of the people that are new because we were all new at one point.
Right, of course.
Like 51% corn and like learning the facts was fun, but like.
I know. That's an eye roll moment now. I don't.
It is.
Yeah. I like to focus on things that take you past that. So that's why I like a regular bourbon tour at this point for me unless I just a facility I haven't seen before and I want to see what's going on. But the tour guide can often be what I consider a little boring because they're getting into all that stuff. And then I get it. If I was curating a tour, I'd probably cover all that shit too. But yeah.
Yeah, I like now going to distilleries. I agree. The tours are kind of, I hate to say boring, but they're boring to me at this point. I like the ones that have experiences. Like Jim Beam has a really fun cocktail class that we did in June. Like Hard Truth has all kinds of stuff. Like I like it. I can do something hands-on and still drink bourbon. Like I don't need you to explain me like your birds and bees of what you're doing here. Like
right.
Yeah, but that's the only way you get to smell all the smells.
I know.
The mash and the grain.
There are trade-offs,
Kathy.
That's a great point.
Oh my God.
That is true.
Give me that Rick House.
Yeah, the Rick House.
Let me taste the mash. Let me go through the whole thing. I missed that part of it on those tours. If we bypass that.
Yeah.
But I do the whole mansplaining thing. So Beth Burrows and I were talking. She had a nice little post, or one of her friends of the program.
Mr. Name Dropper here.
This week
big
about
bourbon
that.
guys dropping names.
Beth
Burrows and I were just chatting. Yeah.
And I hope Lenny's smiling because of my choice of whiskey for a big bourbon guy episode. So she had a good point. She's like, listen, every time I go to places, everybody's like, they doubt me what I'm doing because I'm a female. I don't know anything. And it's amazing to me that the fastest growing consumer of whiskey is the female demographic. Who do you think are on these quality assurance and tasting panels? Why are they all women? Because they have a better palate than men. So don't be afraid.
And it's just not the palate with Beth. Beth knows her shit. She knows the bourbon industry. She knows Beam as good as anybody. I wouldn't challenge Beth Burrows on anything. Fuck that.
No. And she gets it all. She had a post out there, and so I reached out to her just because I was like, I wanted to see what she said. I can't imagine what she gets.
Mm-hmm.
Going out
it's terrible.
She does
it's terrible that happens. Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah. Well, Neaters, you're a big bourbon guy, right?
Yeah, and don't like ryes, and but I love wild turkey. So
you love old Brandon too, right?
Yeah. big old granddad guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's
I hate
bourbon.
rye.
He likes bourbon. He hates rye. So,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I get it.
No, I feel like with this whole thing, though, I feel like there's so many guys out there like that now. It's just because the whole bourbon boom lately, and I feel like a lot of people just aren't educating themselves when they're getting into it. They're like, oh, this tastes good, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then they consider themselves a bourbon guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's true. Or they don't even know if it tastes good because I can't count I need to leave some of these groups on Facebook because they're obnoxious. I don't even know how I added to them, but I'm in them and people will post every day like some obnoxious bottle being like, did I do good? I don't know. Did you? Do you like it? Have you ever tried it? Was it within your budget? Then you did good. If neither of those things are into play, you didn't. Quit asking strangers for their opinions. It drives me insane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or what do you think this would be in the secondary market if I sell it? What do you think it cost? What do you think we?
Yeah.
Get out
So
of here.
I think they're kind of giving bourbon like a bad rap. Remember like the mid 2000s when craft beer guys were those guys?
Yeah.
Like bourbon's they're turning into those douchey guys now, except they're like better dressed and not hipsters.
And it was wine before that. Yeah. So.
I'd even throw in the single malt scotches out there. If you didn't drink Macallan, you didn't know high style life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know. Sorry, it's not Macallan. It's the Macallan.
The Macallan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think everything has this phase, and I hope that I want bourbon to stay on top of the game, right? Because we love it, but I want those guys to fade out, so like just the cool people are left.
Yeah.
Just meet everybody where you're at and be a good person and just talk. And it's like, how many times have you had to pull yourself back on the tours when you really started going out and you learned stuff, or you've been on the tour multiple times and you start taking the jokes away from them? Unfortunately, I've been that guy once. And I looked at myself. I said, "What are you doing, you idiot?"
Right.
Stop. You don't need to do that. And I'm talking softly to my family. I'm like, "Oh, look at this." And all of a sudden they sit and they're like, or then you get to look for the tour guide. You're like, "Oh, come on." And I'm like, oh, "Okay, that's when I knew when I was the bourbon guy, and I got a big bourbon guy, and you got to stop that." And I'm glad I caught that early. Well,
that's good because those people are just annoying. The one that want to fill in every question. I get it. If you're on a tour, answer one question. That's all you get to answer. If the tour guide throws something out at one time, you can answer one thing. You don't sit there and answer everything that the tour guide's throwing out. You let other people participate. Yeah. Just because you want to demonstrate how super knowledgeable you are, and you're not. It works reverse that for me. I get embarrassed for these people. I get embarrassed for a lot of shit people do for them. They're not getting embarrassed themselves, but yeah.
I'm surprised it doesn't bring up your old man anger.
It does, of course. I have to let it simmer though, and that's why it comes out in other ways. And usually, I get angry at all that kind of stuff, or angry at people about that, and then I come in and I yell at people on the podcast who are my friends because it has to manifest itself somewhere. It's got to get out, but I can't just do it to strangers. They'll be like, "Oh, this guy with the podcast, he's nuts." So no, I have to rip on my friends. It just comes out. It's like Danny got the full brunt of it that one day when he kept telling me, "Well, I've never tried this one, but."
That was
one of those for like 3 rounds. I couldn't take it anymore. Yeah.
So harsh. If I were Danny that night, I would have cried.
If you did, what would you choose? I don't know, Steve. Miss you, Danny.
Yeah, Danny was definitely something special. That's for sure. So there you go. Don't be a bourbon guy. And like I said, I feel like women have done a good job of not turning into bourbon guys. So there's not created this bourbon gal persona or bourbon girl. People are normal on the female side. Guys are, I think they're making up for shortcomings. I think a lot of times it's like typical, almost bully-like behavior. And reality, they don't know enough, but they want to act like they do and just steamroll over things.
Is it the new big truck where I make it up for something?
Yeah, I could.
I think they're just like that, and as a person, like I don't think it's whatever they're into. They're like that. I think they just carry it into bourbon if they like it.
Yeah,
well,
it's true.
If whiskey stones are truck nuts, then we've got it. So there you go.
Whiskey stones.
We've hit it.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, don't make fun of big trucks though, because Evan Nieder's here. I mean, he pulls the front end of his car is into the store 20 minutes before the back end finally pulls. That thing is, I wonder what the turn ratio on that thing is. Yeah,
it's not great.
Yeah, like our whole parking lot is needed so you can make a U-turn, I would think. Yeah. Yeah, you're not the guy at the light who's in the left turn lane and then zoinking around and then going the other way. I think you're not making one of those U-turns.
No.
Not happening in that thing. That thing's a beast. All right. Well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Evan, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
Oh, you can find me trying to turn around in the parking lot of the ABV Barrel Shop and on Facebook at Evan Eaters.
All right, Kathy.
Look me up on Instagram at KK Cask Strength.
Tim.
Evan Neaters just showed up, so it's good to see you here. Now the truck's finally pulled in. Good to have you, Evan. You can find me on Instagram at SwyGuy2112 and our flagship whiskey on YouTube.
McNew.
I'm on Instagram at McNew ABV.
For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website, abvnetwork.com. That's the one you got to check out. Everything that we do is out there. We put all of our previous shows, blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us, ABV Barrel Shop. You never know what's going on. We get bourbon celebrities in there all the time, like McNew or Swyatt. Kathy's in there regularly. Evan's in there regularly. They're both, close to the top 10 if they're not in the top 10 at all times. So, sometimes they're ranked number 11, but it happens. It happens. Back next month. So
and Bourbon Homeless.
Yeah.
Watch out for the Bourbon Homeless.
You never know whether the Bourbon Homeless person's going to be there. So check us out, abvbarrelshop.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
Would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the Network.
Great job today, gang. Farnance, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Adios.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some of the great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro is owned and operated by Russell Creed, who makes stills for the hobby distiller. He offers a one-stop shop for everything the at-home distiller needs. Whether it's a small, experimental stovetop still or something bigger you run outside, he has the still or parts you would have difficulty fabricating yourself if you were trying to build a DIY still project. Additionally, he has resources to assist in creating unique distilled spirits, including heirloom grains, barrels for aging, and recipes. Check out Russell's company online at moonshinestillpro.com. Finally, I have a question for you. Have you ever boxed a bear? Of course not. That'd be silly. Bears really don't follow the rules, so shots in the back of the head, punches to the nuts, and scrums after the bell would be the norm. A better idea would be to enjoy Boxing Bear Whiskey, a brand crafted by Nobleton's Distilling House in Union, Missouri, and sold exclusively at the ABV Barrel Shop in suburban St. Louis. This is a popular offering that sells out quickly, but when you're in town, stop by the ABV Barrel Shop and see if they have it in stock. Better yet, sign up for their email and text distribution over at abvbarrelshop.com and you'll know exactly when it is in stock. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.